Hi and welcome to another episode of Nom Nom Books. Today what we have is Goodnight Gorilla by Peggy Rathmann. So this book is pretty interesting because it is a book that doesn't have many words, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so open up and what you have is a gorilla who doesn't really look very much like a gorilla in a cage, and so the zookeeper says, "Goodnight Gorilla." Gorilla is stealing the keys of the zookeeper. In the next page you see that the gorilla has let himself out and the zookeeper is on his way, unaware that his keys have been stolen. And the gorilla follows on, and next you see gorilla takes a look at the elephant and the zookeeper says, "Good night, elephant." And then you see the elephant is already out. Gorilla is then letting out the lion, "Good night, lion." And you see lion is out, "Good night, hyena." "Good night, giraffe." So this naughty gorilla is letting out all the animals. Then you see they're all out here. "Good night, armadillo," says the zookeeper. Over here, they've left the zoo and they follow the zookeeper home in a line. And over here, the naughty animals are getting into his house and into his bedroom. So the gorilla is actually on the bed, yawning, and all these other animals are hugging and lying down in various places. Zookeeper's wife says, "Good night, dear," and she's about to turn off the light. Little mouse is in the drawer there, and then all the animals say, "Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night." And then suddenly you have these two eyes that go, "Huh?" Blink, blink. Then zookeeper switches on the light. Zookeeper's wife rather switches on the light and sees the gorilla, and she's like, "What the?" And she brings them all back to the zoo. But naughty gorilla has hung around and followed her back, and she says, "Good night, zoo." And you can see the gorilla is looking at the camera, or us, right, and putting his fingers to his lips and saying "shh," right. And then down here, "Good night, dear," says the zookeeper's wife, and the zookeeper says "good night," and the gorilla is climbing back into bed. And then the little mouse, who's been accompanying the gorilla all along, says, "Good night, gorilla," and gorilla is asleep in bed. So this book is really cool because it allows the parent, as you're reading to your kid, to actually point out all the little details. And every time we go through the book, my son and I, we find different details, different things. So if you look through it, for example, the mouse is always in the cage of the gorilla, right? There he is holding a pink balloon. And then as the gorilla leaves, the mouse is letting down the banana and bringing it along. Over here, the mouse is carrying the banana, right? And then he follows the gorilla throughout the whole book, always pictured somewhere dragging his little banana along. So it allows the parent to explain a lot of things to the kid as they are reading, and so there's a lot of imagination. And every time, since there are no words, it allows the parents to use whatever words they want to explain it. And that makes it very interesting for the kids. So my son really likes this. We've read it over and over again. As you can see, it's kind of well worn, even though it's a board book. I would totally recommend this for your kid around 1.5 to 2, and all the way up to probably 3 years old, because it never gets boring when you're just looking at pictures and talking about them. So I would give this like 4.5 out of 5, maybe 5 out of 5, because it really is very good, and the illustrations are very, very interesting, and you spot a different thing every time you read through it. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.